Hey y'all, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone today. I hope that's my goal, is to kill two birds with one stone. My niece Kari is home. She and her husband and son moved to Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. So she has come home for one last visit before school starts. So when she comes home, I always try to have some of her favorites. Because that child, she does love to eat. And her meals are very important to her. And always has been since she was a little girl. Boy, howdy, if you didn't feed her at 12 o'clock, her lunch, she was traumatized. And then she would traumatize you. But anyway, Eddie went to Davis Produce here out on Highway 80 on the way to the beach. And he picked us up some fresh green beans. He said he was going to look for pole beans, which, I don't know why, but pole beans are so hard to find. But when I was a young mother and raising my boys, I would go to the store and I would just buy fresh pole beans and be done with it. But I don't know. I don't know why you can't find them now. But the green beans are really, really good. And you can, I usually snap them, about that big. You can, any way you want to snap them is all right. There's no right or wrong. Some people even like them whole, but I don't think of a southern green bean as whole, being cooked whole. Plus hard, like my green beans soft. So that's what I'm going to share with y'all today. And I found some hog jowl at the grocery store. Sometimes this is hard to find except the holidays. It's going to be in the grocery stores in November and December because people are thinking about their New Year's Day meal, and you always got to serve your black-eyed peas and hog jowl for New Year's Day for luck. So here we go. Now after I get these snapped, I'm gonna wash them real good. I just want to make sure they're clean and don't have any pesticides or anything like that on them. So hopefully these will be a wonderful pot. You can usually depend on Davis Produce to have the good stuff. So while I'm just standing up here snapping, I want to talk to y'all and tell y'all what's going on. Well, I just got back from Branson. I went to that restaurant in Branson, Missouri to do a book signing and just tell the team, hello, because I kind of got where I had to put it off, when COVID started. So that was great. That was great. The only thing about it was Eddie and I was in the airport for 48 hours trying to get home. And we were so tired. Chin up, buttercup, right? I took so many little naps just sitting there straight up in that chair. It was exhausting. But so anyway, I want to tell you, and my next book signing and restaurant to visit is Myrtle Beach. Paula Deen's Family Kitchen in Myrtle Beach, and it's great. And I can't wait to go and see them. We're so blessed with wonderful, wonderful team members. So it's sometimes in September, right, Eddie?
Yeah, it's September 10th. But anyone could always just check your webpage.
Yeah.
And
because it's got my itinerary on it, doesn't it?
Yep.
But let me tell you what my little family is so excited about. I am taking all the grandchildren to Pigeon Forge to spend Thanksgiving at our restaurant there. And they are so excited. Paula Deen Family Kitchen is located on the island. And it is just it's a wonderful little compound. The hotels are there, the margarita hotels, the bars, our restaurant, and there's all kind of rides and things for the children. You just can let your children run and enjoy, and it's got, what is that new ride they've got in there? It's just a great place to visit, to take your children. And there's, right outside of that, there's that museum of all the gangsters. Did you go in that one, Eddie?
I did. You know what? I didn't go in there the last time we were up there.
Well, we went, and I think the air conditioner was broken, and it was so hot. But that sort of stuff is so interesting to me. You know, where they have the cars that Bonnie and Clyde was in and all that stuff. So anyway, we are going to be going up and celebrating Thanksgiving there. And I'll be having a couple of book signings too while I'm there. And I'm not turning the Christmas lights on this year on the island itself, but I am gonna be taking all the grandchildren and all of our children down to Paula Deen Lumberjack. Is that the correct name?
Yeah, it's Paula
Deen's
Dean's Lumberjack Feud.
Lumberjack Feud, yes. And what a fun show is that. I just have to tell y'all, you think football players and baseball players are athletes? They can't hold a candle to these lumberjack guys. In fact, the world champion from 2019, I think, is one of the team members. I think he's still with them.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Eddie?
And I think we have quite a few, like, past world champion, you know, in different categories.
Yes. I mean, these guys are truly spectacular. I almost faint just watching them.
They are the Dawson and the McGraw feuding families.
Yeah, Dawson and McGraw feuding families, in case y'all couldn't hear Eddie. Eddie's got a soft voice. But it's a lot of fun, and we'll be turning on the Christmas lights, and I think they're looking for plaid shirts for all the grandchildren to wear.
Yes, we just got the email from Monica saying we need to coordinate outfits for the grandchildren.
Yes. So y'all, please, if you're nearby, please come to the tree lighting there. And they have, or we have, at the Family Feud.
It's a little park on its own.
Yeah, it's in a park where there are other things around it too. What was I gonna say? Y'all? I can't remember what I was gonna say.
The zip line roller coaster.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. It's the last time I was told it's the only one in the world, right, Eddie?
Well,
didn't they claim it to be the only one in the world?
You know,
like
it's been a while since it's been over a year now that they've put it up. So you know, it may be other places.
Has copied.
Yeah, at the time it was the first
At
zip
the time
line roller coaster.
it was the first one, and and what is it called? It's like a combination of zip lining and.
Well, I mean, you're suspended. You are
Yeah.
harnessed in, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit of manual labor. I think you've got to be able to pull yourself through. But you do have some coasting.
The kids will have a ball doing that. And so hopefully we'll have them all in their little plaid shirts and they can practice their axe. Well, I don't know. That might be a little dangerous, axe throwing for them. So, like I said, if you're around, what day is that going to be, Eddie? Do you know?
Let's see. The 26th is Saturday. That's the actual date of the.
Okay. And what day is Thanksgiving? Y'all, this will be the first Thanksgiving that I have not cooked in 1,000 years. I am going to sit down at that Paula Deen family kitchen table, and it's going to be just like I cooked it myself. It's going to be so good. Y'all, the phone just rang, and it was Kari. They went to a water park in Jekyll Island with Jamie and Brooke and their children, and Kari and Sullivan. And she called me. She said, "We're on our way home. What are you fixing for supper?" She hadn't even hardly left that park before she's thinking about the next meal. She is a bird, I'm telling you. All right, so I finally got our green beans snapped. Now I'm going to just wash them real good. The color's pretty. It's pretty and green. And while these are soaking, I'm gonna gotta make sure I didn't put any bad pieces in here. Okay, now I'll drain those in the colander after they set and soaked for a few minutes. All right, so we're turning back to our seasoning. And this is truly a southern way to cook your green beans. This is the way my grandmother taught me. So that's the way I'm gonna do this. And I've actually found some hog jowl that's already sliced. So that's real convenient because usually I have to slice it and then I'll put individual batches up for my next pot of peas or green beans or whatever. So I'm going to get my pot hot, and sometimes I love and adore this pot. I found it at a yard sale and I just love it, but sometimes it will stick on me, so I'm just gonna spray that so that the hog jowl won't. Look at that. Now that one's still got the skin on it. Let's see. I mean, that still had the rind on it. Let's see if it all does. Yes, it's got the rind on it. Oh my gosh, I love it with rind on. It'll get so crispy. So you can just pour this in water and boil it, but I like to brown off and render the fat from my hog jowl. Now I don't think Grandma did this. I don't think she put onion in hers, but I like the onion flavor cooking in it. So after I put green beans in there, then I'll throw the onion in on top of it. And it'll get real soft. The onion will be real soft, so it's not like if the children get a piece. Oh, I don't need onions. It'll be so soft they won't even realize that it's an onion. Okay, so that is a big onion, so I think that might be big enough for the pot. Now, you know, to me, there's really not a recipe for a dish like this because, you know, it depends. I don't know how many you're cooking for. I don't know if you're doing a pound or I don't know if you're doing 5 pounds. or not. So here we go. I'll just show you the way I do it. So like I said, we're going to render that fat out of there. And then I'll take the green beans after they're drained, and I will stir them around in that fat and make sure they're all kind of coated with that fat. And they'll get a good start going on them. So while our hog jowl is browning a little bit, we'll take our green beans.
Now, what if you can't find hog jowl? What's the next best?
What if you can't find hog jowl? That's a good question, Eddie, because sometimes I can't find it except around the holidays. But you can use ham hock. You could use ham if you got a ham bone left over from a ham that you've cooked. You could use bacon. You can use like turkey wings. Some people want to stay away from pork, so they'll go to the smoked turkey wings, and those are real good too. But I just love the pork, the way it seasons. Yeah, see, even though I sprayed this pot, it's sticking. It must be the salt from the hog jowl that makes it want to stick, would be my thought. Okay. What am I cooking that on? I'm cooking that on about right. So can you see inside the pot, Eddie? So depending on how many beans you're cooking, would depend on how much seasoning meat you would use. But, green beans are like collard greens and turnips and mustard greens. You've got to have the fat in order for them to be really, really good. So if I feel like this doesn't render enough flavoring out of it, I'll put a scoop of my bacon grease that I keep in the refrigerator from when I've cooked bacon. And that seasons them real good. And of course, at the very end, I'm going to put a couple of dollops of butter in there. And they're going to be so good. All right, I think that fat is it's pretty good rendered. So now I'm going to add my green beans straight in there. Hear them sizzling? Love that sound. Love that sound, y'all. So I'm going to take my spoon and stir them around. Like I said, I'd like to get them all coated with that wonderful hog jowl fat. I don't know what else to call it. It's fat. All right, so here I go with my seasonings. My salt, my pepper, my onion powder, and to me this is the onion powder and the garlic powder really help season them up good. And this is the garlic powder. And I'm going to use my wet chicken base. I'll put a scoop of that in there. And now we've got to add our water. But before I add the water, I'm going to stir them another time or two and get that seasoning all over them. And now in with our onion. I'm just going to throw those on top and let them cook. So you don't want to drown your green beans. That was very important to my grandmother. When she got through cooking her fresh beans, they were almost just searing in that fat. You know, she did not believe in drowning them. By the time she got them cooked, there was almost no water at all. And like I said, they were like steamed. So that's it. I may throw a few potatoes in there about halfway. Or sometimes I will just take my potatoes and boil them in a pot separately and throw them on my beans when I'm ready to serve. Either way is right. All right, so what did I do with that lid? So these will probably cook, depending on how young and tender they are, a minimum of 45 minutes. And they're gonna be good, honey. They're gonna be real good. Now y'all saw how much water I added to these beans, and there's still plenty of water in it. So if I wanted to steam them, like Grandma taught me how, I would just cut these back on and not put the lid on them. And that way the liquid would absorb. And I went ahead and I added some butter, which that little butter just kind of tops them off.
How much butter?
I put a half a stick of butter. I just sliced a half a stick of butter, Eddie, and put it on top. So now I'm going to do the taste test. And, you know, I might need to adjust the seasonings a little bit. I don't know. And they're still very hot. And you can see I've got my potatoes in another pot. I'm going to cook them separately because here's the thing. I don't like to cook my potatoes until I'm almost ready to serve them, because potatoes, once they get cold, they have a tendency to, you know, get kind of hard. So these will be cooked separately and thrown on top of the beans. They don't need a thing except some folks. They are delicious. That's a true Southern green bean, if ever there was one. Now I'm going to bake a pound cake.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.